My name's Ian Roberts. I've had the good fortune of teaching painting workshops for over 25 years, and I've had also the good fortune of working with a lot of students to help them to learn to paint better. And in my experience, composition or structure or design seems to be the most challenging thing for most students to master. And why is that? It's because it's hidden. It's behind the scenes. You know, the same time you're focusing on getting the hills right and the trees right and the faces right and whatever it is you're painting, you've also got to be thinking about the compositional structure, the foundation or the armature the painting is sitting on. So in my experience, probably the most efficient and effective way to improve painting is to look at composition. And the reason is because whether you're interested in oils or acrylics or watercolors or still life or landscapes or figures, composition is the foundation it is all sitting on. So in this video, we're going to look at two images. The first is a photograph with good compositional structure, and we're going to analyze it for what we might think about before beginning to paint, as if we're creating a roadmap before we start painting. And the second is an historical painting, one by, in this case, Joachim Soroya, and we're looking at it just how he orchestrates our eye around the picture plane, which in the end is what composition is really all about. Now, if some of these ideas seem new to you and you're not quite sure about them, this is a weekly series of 3 to 4 minute videos, and we'll just be building on it and you'll be up to speed in no time. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you at the end. Bye for now. So when I talk about structure, I'm not talking about the trees and the hills and so on. This is the image here. If you look at this, we have a road coming in here. We have a horizon and a line of bushes here. We've got a big tree that's doing something like this, and a telephone pole and the other side of the road there, going back here with a series of little pieces of sort of hedge and so on, and some sort of geometric shapes in there. Then this has a lot of nice structure. You know, you can see that there's quite individual objects there, but look at all those little holes up there. And that's sort of attracting attention, when in fact, what I'd be interested in doing is having the attention coming to here. And so you have the horizon, and you have these verticals intersecting at the point of interest. And everything else here would be supporting that. And that would be like a roadmap you'd create before beginning. That would be your intention. So the bright sunlight hitting the top of that bush there, for example, against that dark, it holds a lot of attention. And if you weren't careful, you could create this as a center of interest, but the contrast there would keep pulling your eye over here. So just by softening that edge, not quite as much contrast, you would release it enough that it still is interesting. We don't reduce its interest, but just enough so that it allows our attention to be coming to where we want the eye to go, and everything would support that. This is a painting by Joachim Soroya, a Spanish painter, died about 1920, around the same time as Monet. Normally he's known for really loose brushwork. And if you look at this painting, it would be pretty loose, but obviously he's gone to a lot of attention in here. This is sort of an earlier work. But I want to show you the structure he's got here, how he's integrating horizontals and verticals. Because obviously we have a strong horizontal on the horizon. And if you look at the arm coming out of the side of the picture here, and that little dark up in the corner, and then the arm, we go from this figure along the gunnel of the boat, and the hat lines up exactly with that, the light with the dark. And we do have the vertical here, but you can see the strong contrast between light and dark here that pulls us to this really strong contrast, which brings us to the hands, and then this nice curve here. And then this shape, this basket here, you can see he's giving us the bottom sense of where it sits on the land. It isn't just popping out of the bottom. And the distance here is just enough to create a nice tension. If he'd moved it over further, we might lose that tension and it would just start seeming to sit sort of on its own at the bottom. So we really see this beautiful motion through the whole picture plane to keep us engaged. So I hope you found that useful and engaging. This is part of a weekly series of 3 to 4 minute videos on composition, just really to remind us of the foundational structure that composition plays in our painting. And each week we'll look at 2 images. We'll analyze a photograph in advance of painting just to see its compositional structure, and we'll look at an historical image. I once made the mistake of referring to a dead artist in a gallery, and the gallery owner said, "Sir, that would be historical." But I wanted to share my experience of composition this way because, as I said, I think the most efficient and effective way to improve your painting is by looking at composition. Now, you may have noticed that both in the photograph and in the Sorolla, there was the discussion of the horizontal and the vertical. And that is probably the single most important structural idea, foundational idea of good composition. And so we'll be looking at that over the next few weeks, just looking at it in more depth. So you'll get another video next week. We have an image by Sargent to look at. So good luck, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.